IndiGo, India's largest airline, recently faced a severe operational crisis that sent shockwaves through the country's aviation sector. With a commanding 65% share of the domestic market, IndiGo's disruptions had far reaching consequences, affecting thousands of passengers and causing widespread delays and cancellations. The crisis was triggered by the enforcement of new pilot duty regulations designed to enhance safety by reducing fatigue. However, the airline's aggressive scheduling and minimal crew buffers left it particularly vulnerable to these changes. As cancellations mounted and on time performance plummeted, the situation exposed deeper vulnerabilities within India's aviation industry, especially the risks of over reliance on a single dominant carrier. The government's intervention and the subsequent debate over safety versus operational stability highlighted the delicate balance required to keep the sector running smoothly. In November 2025, India implemented new flight duty time limitation or FDTL rules for airline pilots. These regulations were designed to address concerns about pilot fatigue and enhance overall flight safety. Key changes include increasing the minimum weekly rest period for pilots from 36 to 48 hours, allowing for more recovery time between duty cycles. Additionally, the number of night landings permitted per pilot was reduced from 6 to just 2 per week. The definition of night hours was also broadened, further restricting scheduling flexibility. These measures reflect a growing emphasis on the well-being of flight crews and the importance of minimizing risk associated with fatigue in aviation operations. IndiGo was uniquely vulnerable to the new pilot duty regulations due to its operational strategy. The airline's aggressive scheduling model relies on maximizing the use of both aircraft and crew, with flights running late into the night and minimal downtime between rotations. This high utilization approach left little room for flexibility, especially when disruptions occur. Compounding the issue, IndiGo maintained only a small crew buffer, about 4%, which effectively vanished under the stricter rest requirements. As a result, even minor delays or unforeseen events quickly cascaded into widespread cancellations and further disruptions. Unlike competitors with more conservative scheduling or larger standby pools, IndiGo's tightly run operation was unable to absorb the shock of the new rules, making it the hardest hit in the industry. In the wake of the new pilot duty regulations, IndiGo experienced an unprecedented wave of flight cancellations and delays. At the height of the crisis in early December, the airline cancelled over 1,000 flights in a single day, with similar disruptions persisting for several consecutive days. On-time performance at major airports plummeted dramatically, reaching just 8.5% on December 5th, a stark decline from 19.7% only 2 days earlier. Throughout November, IndiGo cancelled a total of 1,232 flights, with the majority directly attributed to crew and regulatory constraints. These operational setbacks not only disrupted daily schedules but also left thousands of passengers stranded or facing significant delays. The scale and persistence of these disruptions underscored the airline's struggle to adapt to the new regulatory environment and highlighted the vulnerabilities in its scheduling and crew management systems. Despite being given ample advance notice about the upcoming pilot duty and rest regulations, IndiGo has been accused of failing to adequately prepare for these changes. The government has pointed out that airlines were informed well in advance, with a phased rollout of the new rules starting as early as July 2025. However, IndiGo did not scale up its pilot workforce or training programs to match the stricter requirements and still sought approval for an ambitious winter schedule. This lack of preparation has drawn sharp criticism from both officials and industry experts. In response, the Civil Aviation Ministry has issued a show cause notice to IndiGo's CEO and launched an inquiry into the airline's planning and the regulatory oversight involved. The ongoing investigation aims to determine why IndiGo delayed its preparations and whether the authorities should have approved its schedule in the first place. This scrutiny highlights broader concerns about strategic planning and regulatory compliance within the airline industry. Beyond regulatory changes, several operational challenges further intensified IndiGo's crisis. Winter weather, particularly dense fog in northern India, frequently caused flight delays and diversions, disrupting carefully planned schedules. Major airports like Delhi, Mumbai, and Bengaluru experienced significant congestion during peak hours, adding to the unpredictability. Airspace and air traffic control restrictions occasionally compounded these delays. While such issues are common during the winter season, IndiGo's minimal crew buffers meant that even minor disruptions could quickly escalate. With tight rosters, a single delay often pushed pilots beyond their legal duty limits, resulting in cascading cancellations and extended delays across the network. This combination of external pressures and internal scheduling left the airline especially vulnerable to operational breakdowns. IndiGo's operational challenges have been compounded by significant fleet and industry constraints. A notable issue has been the grounding of more than 40 Airbus A320neo aircraft due to durability defects in Pratt and Whitney engines, which required extensive inspections and repairs. The situation has reduced the number of available planes, making it harder for the airline to maintain its schedule, especially during disruptions. Globally, the Airbus A320 family has faced software and structural inspection requirements, slowing deliveries and further limiting capacity. These industry-wide supply chain problems have left IndiGo with fewer spare aircraft to deploy when needed. As a result, even minor setbacks, such as weather delays or crew shortages, have had a magnified impact on the airline's ability to operate smoothly. During the crisis, passengers faced a series of frustrating challenges. Many experienced last-minute flight cancellations, sometimes only finding out after arriving at the airport or even after boarding time. Long delays became common, with departure times frequently rescheduled and little clarity provided. Communication from the airline was often lacking, leaving travelers stranded in queues without clear updates on their flights. Baggage issues added to the chaos, with some passengers waiting hours or even days for their luggage to be delivered. Financial losses mounted as people scrambled to buy expensive last-minute tickets on other airlines, paid for extra accommodation and transportation, and missed important commitments. The overall experience left many travelers feeling stranded and unsupported during a period of significant disruption. In response to the operational crisis at IndiGo, the government took several decisive actions to stabilize the situation. Regulatory authorities issued a show cause notice to IndiGo's CEO and formed a 4-member inquiry committee to investigate the airline's preparedness and the adequacy of regulatory oversight. To alleviate immediate disruptions, the Directorate General of Civil Aviation temporarily suspended certain provisions of the new flight duty time limitation norms until February 2026, a move that sparked debate over safety versus operational needs. Additionally, temporary fare caps were introduced on affected routes to prevent excessive ticket prices for stranded passengers. Airports were also instructed to improve coordination in baggage and passenger handling. These measures reflect the government's attempt to balance passenger interests, industry stability, and regulatory integrity during a period of unprecedented disruption. The recent crisis at IndiGo has highlighted significant vulnerabilities within India's aviation sector. With IndiGo commanding over 60% of the domestic market, the disruptions expose the risks associated with relying heavily on a single dominant carrier. When operational challenges arise, such concentration can lead to widespread chaos, affecting passengers, airport operations, and even the broader economy. The government's temporary relaxation of safety regulations to restore stability has sparked a debate about the delicate balance between ensuring passenger safety and maintaining operational efficiency. This situation underscores the need for diversified competition and robust regulatory oversight to safeguard the sector against similar shocks in the future. Ultimately, the episode serves as a cautionary tale, emphasizing that resilience and preparedness are as crucial as growth in the aviation industry. IndiGo's operational crisis was the result of several interconnected factors. The immediate trigger was the enforcement of stricter pilot duty and rest regulations, designed to enhance safety by reducing fatigue. However, IndiGo's aggressive scheduling, minimal crew buffers, and insufficient preparation for these new rules left the airline unable to adapt quickly. Compounding the issue were broader industry constraints, such as grounded aircraft due to engine problems and seasonal weather disruptions. These challenges exposed vulnerabilities in IndiGo's planning and the risks of over-reliance on a single dominant carrier. Ultimately, the crisis underscores the importance of balancing regulatory compliance, operational resilience, and strategic foresight within the aviation sector.